Listen, I'm not sure if this is for you, but if you bought a home over the last year or so with these record high interest rates, thinking that you could just refinance into a lower rate really soon, I don't know how you fell for that. I mean, it's crazy. You almost were lied to, or you probably really were lied to when people were telling you that, hey, even though you buy a house at 7.5, or some of you all, if you got bad credit, some of you all, you bought these homes at 8% interest rates. But don't worry, your realtor told you that you can just refinance into a lower rate in the future. Right, isn't that wonderful? You can just drop your rate in the future and don't worry about paying a couple of $1,000s extra. Don't worry about the fact that the first couple of years of paying the mortgage is only paying interest. You know what? Now is a good time to buy. Save money and you're going to be able to drop that rate later. Even the realtor told you that, or the real estate agent, because there's that special designation between the two, or maybe even your mortgage loan officer told you that. Isn't that convenient? I mean, why would somebody tell you that you could refinance into a lower rate? Oh, I get it. To get your business. And let's be honest, anytime that someone's getting commission for making a sale, for doing anything with you, do you honestly think they're gonna put your interests first? That's so sweet of you to think that they care about you so much. That's so sweet of you to think that they're going to be honest when they're going to make thousands of dollars when you make a bad decision. But don't feel bad. Thousands of people have done it. I'm going to make sure that you don't do it again. Today, not only am I going to cover why you had happen to you, I'm going to make sure that you understand it so it doesn't happen again. And maybe you can tell somebody else, or maybe you just do a better job next time. Because if you thought that you could be able to refinance at a lower rate in a couple of months, you are sadly mistaken. And I'm going to show that. Better yet, prove that to you today. So go ahead, drop me a like, please subscribe, and share this video, because there are not enough people out there, more specifically realtors out there, that are going to tell you exactly what's going on in the housing market when it comes to mortgage interest rates and everything else. So please, I would love for you to join us on our channel. Go ahead, hit the like button, share, subscribe, do all of that. And don't let anybody take advantage of you again when you're spending $400, $500, $600, $700, $800,000 on real estate. So for starters, let's break down. Why would somebody lie to you or just tell you that you could do something which they're not even sure that they can do? Well, to be honest, the market is slow for everybody. It's slow for realtors. It's slow for mortgage loan originators. It's slow across the board. A lot of mortgage companies make money when it comes to refinancing, but because of the recent increase in rates, refinancing business has gone down the gutter. Nobody's going to be able to refinance into a higher rate, duh. And then on the other side, for realtors, they're not selling houses like they used to, especially with the way that home prices have increased. Home prices here in Metro Atlanta have probably gone up 40, 50, 60% since 2020. And those first-time home buyers who used to get a lot of business from, those people you used to be able to get like down payment assistance for, they have exited the chat. So ultimately, the market is slow for everybody. But on your end, here's a mistake that you made. You feel like you can just use anybody to be your realtor. Most people, they just use their friends or somebody that they know. If somebody that you know were to come to you and you're not a realtor and say, hey, can you help me make a $400,000 or $500,000 decision? You would probably tell them that you're not the right person to speak to go seek financial advice. But no. When it comes to real estate, you'll just work with anybody. You'll work with realtors who don't even do real estate full time and expect to get the right information. In fact, I've been a realtor for over half a decade, and I can tell you that most realtors really don't even know what they're doing. Some realtors don't even know how to fill out the paperwork properly, but the ones that do, they don't study the market the way that we do. They don't understand local market trends. They're literally just going out there, signing people up for whatever, and they'll say whatever to get you under contract just so they can make the big bucks. So honestly, I think that if you're one of the people who got conned, or I'm not going to say conned, but if you were coerced, or I'm not even going to say coerced, but if you made the unfortunate decision of buying a mortgage that you really can't afford right now with the hopes of being able to refinance it in a couple of months, then the first mistake you need to clean up is just stop using anybody for a real estate agent. You need to make sure that you actually interview these people and stop using your friends. Just because they're your friends does not mean that you should let them guide you in a decision that could change your whole financial future. It just doesn't make sense for you to do that just because they're your friend, church member, family member. You get what I'm saying, right? And the second thing is you probably really don't understand how mortgage rates are even calculated or what goes into it. Or most people don't even understand that the first 5 to 7 years of paying the mortgage is really just interest. You're not really knocking off the principal at all. Those initial upfront payments that you're making are really just interest payments. So if you're watching and you haven't purchased a home yet, maybe you should slow it down, go do a little research, and of course, watch the rest of this video because I'm getting ready to break down exactly what goes into mortgage interest rates and help you understand what's going to happen in the future. And of course, I'm not the one who sets the rates, so no one really has a crystal ball on what's going to happen. But I'm going to prove to you that mortgage interest rates are not going to go down anytime soon, unless something catastrophic happens. But let's not think about the bad. Let's just jump into exactly how mortgage interest rates work. And to help you understand, we're just going to jump on over to bank rate and look at this article, okay? Here it says factors that influence mortgage rates. Fixed rate mortgages are tied to the 10-year treasury yield. Most of you all don't even know what that is. So like I said before, you're playing with fire and you don't even understand what's going on there. Ask your realtor what the 10-year treasury yield is and how it affects mortgage rates, and they'll probably look at you like, huh? Now, when that rate goes up or down, fixed rate mortgages follow suit. The fixed mortgage rate isn't exactly the same as a 10-year yield. However, there's a gap between the two. Typically, the gap between the 10-year treasury yield and the 30-year fixed mortgage spans 1.5 to 2 percentage points. For much of 2023, that margin has grown to 3 percentage points, making mortgages more expensive. Mortgage rates also move because of inflation. Oh my God. When are we going to start hearing about inflation? Probably never. Generally, when inflation picks up, so do fixed mortgage rates. So let's take a break here. Do you think that inflation is going to go down over the next, couple of months, or even just the next year or two? Do you think that inflation is going to go down? Make sure that you comment below. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. But if you think that inflation is going to go down, that means that you believe that deflation is going to happen. That means that prices are going to go down, wages are going to go down, and if you own a house, you're going to go underwater. The next thing that influences mortgage interest rates are supply and demand. When mortgage lenders have too much business, they raise rates to decrease demand, which is interesting. I'm not sure if they do that, but this is what the article says. So when they have too much business, they intentionally slow it down. You can be the judge of that. When business is light, they tend to cut rates to attract more customers. So like we talked about before in our previous videos, home sales are down. So conventional wisdom, when you're looking at only supply and demand, might say that mortgage interest rates will drop. But guess what? You all are still trusting these realtors, thinking that you're going to be able to refinance. And guess what? They're saying that housing demand is still strong. So take it how you want. And the last thing is the secondary mortgage market, where investors buy mortgage-backed securities. If you've seen The Big Short, you understand what mortgage-backed securities are. Most lenders bundle these mortgages. They underwrite and sell them in the secondary marketplace to investors. When investor demand is high, mortgage rates trend a little lower. When investors aren't buying, rates might rise to attract buyers. So because mortgage rates have been rising like crazy, that means that investor demand is low. And what do you think would have to happen to get investors more interested in buying mortgage-backed securities? I encourage you, go watch The Big Short. It may not necessarily correlate to what's going on in this market, but I'd be interested to hear what you think about it after watching the movie, or if you already have, let me know. So the article covers the factors that influence mortgage rates, but me, I'm a technical analysis guy, and if you don't understand technical analysis, please hit the link in my bio and go ahead, check out my stock course. I will teach you everything that you need to know about technical analysis so these charts don't look foreign to you. But let's take a look at the 10-year treasury yield on the charts to see what's really happening. So as you can see here on my screen, I have the US government bonds 10-year yield pulled up. And right now we're at about 4.5, right? Very high compared to where it's been. In fact, we're probably the highest that we have been all the way back to 2007. Isn't that a coincidence? We haven't been this high since 2007. Does anybody know what happened slightly after 2007? Never mind. We'll just keep going and keep talking about this. So here it is on the chart. You see this red line, this thick red line? That's what's called a 200-day simple moving average. Quick tip, if the price is above it, long-term uptrend. If the price is below it, long-term downtrend. And here's where I bought my home, right? Back in 2020, when rates were extremely low, you could get a mortgage interest rate for about 2.5%. This was back in March 2020, all the way through the rest of 2020. You guys know the story. I won't bore you then. But when did rates really start going up? Oh, look at the chart. January of 2022. And they've been on a long-term increase ever since then. And now, if you understand the charts, you can kind of understand that these rates aren't coming down for a long time. And of course, long is subjective, but I think it's going to take quite a bit longer than you probably thought it was going to be if you bought a home thinking that you could refinance in the next 8 to 12 months. That ain't gonna happen. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you bought a home thinking that you could refinance into a lower rate, you were probably lied to by your realtor or your mortgage loan officer, or at the very minimum, you were given bad information because they didn't understand what's going on. So please feel free, like this video, comment below. Let me know what you think. Are you one of the people who bought a house at this high interest rate and you're thinking that you're going to be able to refinance? Let me know what you think. And of course, subscribe for more high quality, in-depth real estate videos that the mainstream media isn't going to teach you information about, your realtor isn't going to tell you about, and God, your loan officer probably isn't going to tell you about all of this information either. I'm a trusted realtor. Thanks for watching. Deal closed.